Rory McIlroy just did what some believed might never be done again in the modern era of golf. He conquered Augusta. He completed the career Grand Slam. And he did it in a way that has shaken the PGA Tour to its core. This isn't just another major victory. This might be the greatest moment in modern PGA history. A 35-year-old golfer, once haunted by his past collapses at the Masters, stepped onto that iconic 18th green and rewrote his legacy in real time. This wasn't redemption. This was transformation. And if you think that's the climax, wait until you hear what's coming next. The pressure that surrounded Rory this week was unreal. According to CBS Sports, this was the most anticipated Masters start of his career. All eyes were on him, not just because of his current form, but because of the decade-long narrative that's clung to his name like a shadow. When would Rory finally win the green jacket? The ghosts of 2011 were lurking at every tee box, but this time McIlroy didn't blink. He didn't just survive Augusta National, he owned it. And yet some fans believe this might only be chapter 1 in a much bigger story. Golf.com called it a culmination of mangled emotions, and that might be putting it lightly. For Rory, this wasn't just about the shots he hit, it was about the ones that haunted him for years. The final round was clinical, controlled, but it was the walk up the 18th with the gallery erupting and history within reach that turned this moment into legend. The look on his face said it all. He knew what this meant, not just for him, but for golf as a whole. Could we be witnessing the start of a second golden age, led by McIlroy himself? With this win, Rory McIlroy becomes only the 6th golfer in history to complete the career Grand Slam. Think about that, 6, in over a century of professional golf. And of the 5 men before him, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, and Gene Sarazen. None of them did it after such a long wait. Rory's journey took patience, heartbreak, and relentless belief. He's the only one who had to wrestle with this story for so long and still finished it. So the question is, what happens now that the pressure is gone? Because if this version of Rory McIlroy, confident, composed, untouchable, is here to stay, the rest of the PGA Tour might be in for a very long year. But what if this is just the beginning of something even bigger? To truly grasp what Rory McIlroy just did, you have to rewind the clock. You have to remember the heartbreak of 2011 when a 21-year-old Rory held a 4-shot lead going into Sunday at Augusta and watched it vanish hole by hole. You have to remember the jokes, the headlines, the labels, mentally fragile, choker, talent wasted. The world called him golf's nearly man, the superstar who couldn't close when it mattered most. But with one swing, one walk up that historic 18th, Rory obliterated a decade of doubt. And maybe, just maybe, he's rewritten what we thought we knew about him forever. The road back wasn't easy. Every year, the Masters became more than a tournament. It became a mental minefield. He won everywhere else, 4 majors by age 25, countless tour titles, and yet Augusta remained the white whale. Every spring, the pressure built. Every year, the question returned louder than before. Is this finally the year? But what Rory showed us in 2025 wasn't just resilience, it was endurance. This was a slow burn revenge arc that took 14 years to land its punch. Because sometimes greatness isn't loud, it just refuses to quit. And while Augusta may have been the mountain he finally conquered, Quail Hollow was the foundation that built his belief. According to Golf Digest, it's the one course where Rory becomes something more than just elite. He becomes untouchable. 4 career wins there. A comfort zone, a sanctuary. As Sky Sports noted, it's the venue that proves his game still has teeth on the toughest tracks. That's why all eyes are now locked on the 2025 PGA Championship, because if Rory does it again on that course, then we're no longer talking comeback, we're talking domination. It's impossible not to draw comparisons. Nicklaus won majors in 3 different decades. Tiger, he redefined modern golf with a cold-blooded efficiency we'd never seen. But what Rory might represent is something different. Emotional greatness. A champion not powered by killer instinct, but by deep scars, long memories, and personal growth. And now, with the Grand Slam checked off, he might finally be swinging with total freedom. So, the real question becomes, how dangerous is a Rory McIlroy with nothing left to prove? Something is different about Rory McIlroy in 2025, and it's not just the trophy in his hands, it's the walk, the confidence, the complete control over his game. After years of chasing ghosts and battling the weight of expectation, McIlroy has found something that's eluded him for over a decade: clarity. The question now is whether this version of Rory is not only back, but better than he's ever been. Because if he is, the rest of the field might be in serious trouble. Golf.com called it a bonus era, a phase where Rory plays with zero pressure and all upside. No more unfinished business, no more chasing validation. What we're seeing now is a freer, sharper, more dangerous McIlroy. The swing is smoother, the decision-making more precise, and the results? Electric. Analysts believe this isn't just a run of form. According to the Fried Egg, it might be the beginning of an era-defining resurgence. And when you mix wisdom with raw talent, history tends to follow. Let's not forget, this isn't Rory's first dance with dominance. Back in the early 2010s, he dismantled fields with ease, winning 4 majors in 4 years. But that was a younger Rory, powered by raw aggression and instinct. Today, he's added something more lethal to the mix: experience. He's no longer the prodigy, he's the architect. Every shot has intention, every round tells a story. And when the artist knows the canvas, masterpieces become routine. At 35, most athletes are beginning to fade. But Rory, he might be entering his true prime. Mentally, he's sharper. Physically, he's still elite. And emotionally, he's unlocked a gear we didn't know he had. No longer chasing what could be, he's finally embracing what is. He's not trying to prove anything anymore. He's just playing his best golf. And that might be even scarier. Because now, there are no nerves, just precision. No panic, just presence. The chatter in golf circles is growing. Could McIlroy chase down double-digit majors? Could he close the gap to legends like Walter Hagen or even Tiger Woods? No one knows for sure. But one thing's clear, this version of Rory McIlroy isn't a flicker, it's a fire, and it's only just started to burn. So, the next time he tees it up, ask yourself, are we witnessing golf's ultimate second act? Right now, the question hanging over the entire PGA Tour isn't how Rory McIlroy won the Masters, it's who can stop him from doing it again. With one legendary performance at Augusta, Rory didn't just silence his doubters, he shifted the psychological balance of the entire tour. Players aren't just chasing form anymore, they're chasing a man who finally feels invincible. And when a great golfer starts believing he's untouchable, things get scary real fast. So, who are the names capable of challenging him? According to Sky Sports, the usual suspects remain: Scottie Scheffler, Jon Rahm, and Justin Thomas. All world class, all with majors, all hungry. But there's a catch. None of them are playing with the same freedom McIlroy is right now. While they're fighting for their moment, Rory is living in his, and that's a dangerous difference. Because when you stop swinging with pressure and start swinging with purpose, you don't just win, you dominate. Let's take Scheffler. Cool-headed, steady, brutally consistent. If anyone can match Rory shot for shot, it's him. But even he hasn't managed to seize control of the moment like Rory did at Augusta. Then there's Rahm, the power player, fiery and explosive. He's the guy you want in a slugfest, but his game has lacked the polish of late. And Justin Thomas? Maybe the most intriguing of them all. Once pegged as golf's next great hope, Thomas has been on a quiet redemption arc since his form dipped post-22, and nothing heats up a rivalry like unfinished business. What makes this even more compelling is how much more is at stake now. Rory's resurgence isn't just personal, it's cultural. Fans are back. Storylines are peaking. The PGA Tour needs a rivalry, a clash of titans. If Rory becomes the runaway, he's a legend. But if someone like Thomas rises to meet him, especially after what Sky Sports called the mental reset of a lifetime, then we're talking about golf's next great era. And every era needs its gladiators. But here's the twist. McIlroy isn't just playing better golf, he's mentally ahead. He's seen the bottom. He's carried the weight. Now he's floating above it all, free, focused, and firing. So yes, the challengers are out there, but they're going to need more than skill. They're going to need belief. Because right now, Rory McIlroy is playing a game no one else fully understands. Let's step back for a moment. What Rory McIlroy did at Augusta wasn't just historic for him, it might have just cracked open an entirely new era for the sport itself. Because when a legend rises, it doesn't happen in a vacuum, it sends shockwaves, it lifts everything. And with McIlroy's Grand Slam win, we may have just witnessed the ignition point for a golf renaissance. The question now is simple, but massive. Are we watching the second coming of greatness? There's an energy in the air. Fans feel it. Players feel it. Broadcasters are buzzing. The Masters win wasn't just a headline, it was a cultural moment. For the first time in years, golf didn't need a Netflix series or a controversial split tour to grab global attention. It just needed one man, one story, and one iconic walk up the 18th. Rory did that, and in doing so, he reminded the world that golf still has goosebump moments, the likes of which no algorithm can manufacture. And when a moment cuts through like that, it usually means something big is coming next. Look at the young guys on tour. The new wave. Ludwig Åberg, Sahith Theegala, Min Woo Lee. They're not just watching Rory, they're learning from him. Because McIlroy just proved that longevity and growth matter. That mental scars can become mental armor. That patience can outshine talent when the timing is right. If you're a rising star, you're not just dreaming of being world number one anymore. You're dreaming of legacy. And Rory just redefined what that legacy can look like. But it's not just the kids who are watching, it's the rivals too. Scheffler, Rahm, Thomas, even the live defectors from afar. They're all recalibrating because Rory has set a new benchmark. Winning with purpose, winning with class, winning with weight on your back and clarity in your swing. This is no longer about who hits it furthest, it's about who handles the moment, and no one is handling the moment right now like Rory McIlroy. So here's the real debate. Is this Rory's golden age or just a flash of brilliance? Has he finally entered the tiger-like stretch we've all hoped for since 2011? Or is this just one glorious chapter in an already storied career? That's the thrill of it. We don't know. And that uncertainty, that's what keeps us coming back. That's what fuels the drama, the passion, the roars from Amen Corner to Quail Hollow. Because golf might just be standing on the edge of its next great era. And at the heart of it all, is Rory. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And once you've done that, have a look at the video that's appearing on your screen right now.